Hey guys, it is Chala. Welcome to Tuesday Tea with Chala. So let me this looks like I am a little bit. So you guys, I don't have tea today. It's too hot. I can't get over it. Yeah, it's too hot. So we're doing this. I'm doing this. Sorry. You can write your complaints in. And I'm so excited, first of all, because the weather's warmed up finally. And second of all, I'm changed my diet to a semi keto based diet. So I'm eating fat like there's no tomorrow. Of course, it's only like 75 grams of fat, but that's like more fat than I've ever eaten for the last 2 years. So I'm like in heaven. I'm going to tell you about this really cool article that I just came across, and I wanted to tell you about it because I always look for really interesting stuff that interests me, that I'm reading, that I want to present to you on Tuesdays. So here we go. This is an article that I read about really cool brick and mortars that went online, and whether because of COVID or before COVID, I don't know, but it's really amazing. Like some of these, I was even shocked. I mean, the technology, I'm not really even sure if they really work, but they must, because these are trusted brands and these are, services that are being used already. So without further ado, let me tell you as I'm being pinged. But so the first one is like a no-brainer, right? I live in Toronto in Canada, and we have the Good Life fitness chain, and so they're doing the same thing, which is in the US, Planet Fitness is doing it. With the COVID, the fitness industry has moved online. So what they're doing is Planet Fitness obviously converted their audience to an online audience, and they converted their workouts to an online workout. That's kind of like a no-brainer. I'm not sure why everybody wouldn't do that, and so it's not that surprising, right? The other one is a good one, although I've heard of that one too. So this one is a hair salon. It's called Lore, and what they're doing is they're having Zoom calls with their clientele to advise them on styling, and even coloring at home. Now, I've heard as far as salons are sending kits of people's specific color, so that sounds really great to me. And they're using Zoom advice to keep engaged and to keep giving people a way to look the same. I mean, let me tell you about my cosmetics. I used to have really long extensions. I mean, I think eyelash extensions are really addictive because you look so good. You look like you have a full makeup on as soon as you fall out of bed, and you can work out, exercise, swim, sleep. It doesn't matter. Shower. You never ever ever have to do anything to it. It just air dries, and you don't have to touch it. And it goes for like a month, and for a year that I had my extensions, I never touched my eyes. Like I never did any makeup. But what happened is they kept falling out through the COVID, like since I've been quarantined, or since it's been closed. And when they fell out, all of them fell out, I think they're all out except for the one. I've lost my natural lashes. I used to have really long lashes naturally, and I've lost them all. I'm like bald. Like you can't tell. I don't know if you can tell, but now I have to do like full makeup. So that's the thing about COVID is like everything is going back to nature. My nails, right? I used to always get gel manicure, and because I wasn't able to get it during COVID, and I tried, like I looked online, how do you get gel off? How do you get gel off? I left my fingers in a solution of acetone for an hour one day, and it still didn't remove the glue. So now I'm growing the glue out, and like it's disgusted me so much that I don't plan on having any chemicals put on anything in my on my nails, on my eyes, yeah, for a very long time. So COVID, there are good things, there are bad things, but totally went on a tangent, but just to let you know, I wonder what the business trend will be when people realize that they can do without, and in fact, they do better without some of the services. Like, I was a gym rat, and now I get such a good workout in. Although I only have a 15-pound heavy weight. Like, I don't have, and when I don't have it in the condo, I have to do my own body weight. But I'm seriously considering, like, when on the days that I don't have time, I can do a workout here. Whereas before COVID, I would like look down at YouTube workouts. I would say, no way. If I can't get to the gym, I'm not going to work out. So imagine, like, and I wouldn't even go to the gym in the condo. That's how much of a snob I was, you know, like, I need to go to a professional gym. And for sure, I've lost muscle mass, for sure. But, you know, it's it's still more convenient, more fun. It's great. Some of the things that I've discovered because of COVID, I'm grateful for. So I'm sure the same is true for you. Okay, let's get back to the topic, which was when brick and mortars go virtual, how they pivot to virtual. Here's another one. Oh God, this is a good one. This is a good one. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's called Sweet Farm, and it's a little farming, like a little petting zoo kind of business somewhere. I think it's in California. And so the owner had an idea of spicing up really boring business meetings on Zoom. So he called it Goat to Meeting instead of Go to Meeting, which is an actual, like, a webinar platform, a meeting, virtual meeting platform. So what businesses can do now is they can rent for anywhere, depending on the size of the meeting, from $65 to get the $750 for a meeting to have either a goat or a llama or a pig or any of the animals that they have attend the meeting. And the fee also covers a nice little tour of the farm, and it just livens up the meeting, and people can ask questions about the farm, and people can ask questions about the animal. So it's just one way to spice up Zoom meetings. I just thought was so innovative, such an innovative way to pivot during COVID and online. I mean, what's the llama gonna do? I was thinking, like, what if they start making noises? I don't know. I guess they mute them. All right, so here's another one, and I think this is pretty common too. This one's by Venture Cafe in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it's a shared workspace. And what they've converted it to, because people can't physically come, they've converted to a platform of online virtual webinars, online trainings, virtual networking, all sorts of amazing things that you can do, because the whole reason why the community exists is because they're small businesses. They're, you know, operating on the same sort of budget. They're similar sized. So it's a great way to connect them and to educate them and to get them to do business with each other. I think it's a no-brainer. I know of like a virtual, like a shared workspace that's doing the same thing here in Toronto. So I'm sure a lot of on the ball, strategic virtual or shared workspaces are doing the same thing. All right, here's the next one. Oh, this is brilliant, but this definitely existed before COVID. Is the company, the insurance company Allstate. So I'm going to get really comfortable here. And Allstate was actually won an award in 2016 for their drone, which goes to the site if they're if the accident or whatever happened is so dangerous that a human can't enter, they would have their drone fly and make the assessment and take pictures and film of the damage, and then be able to, you know, issue a claim and process a claim. So now they're doing it during COVID. So how amazing is it that they don't need to intervene with human interaction? They can just send a robot, a drone. I think that's great. Drones are, going to be the future. I think they already are. Okay, this one blew me away. This one, the next one, you guys. And like, I'm wearing glasses here, so you know that I'm sensitive to eyewear. There's a company called Warby Parker. They had gotten on my radar because of their marketing. Like, they do such a good job marketing. they're prescription glasses that you can get online. Like literally, if you know your prescription, you can get online. Now they've gone even a step further, believe it or not. If you don't know your prescription, they have an app where they can tell you, they can take whatever, do a test. Can you see this letter from this far? Can you see this from this far? And they can come up with a prescription for you. Because and you know, they have a doctor that does that. It's not just, you know, I don't know, some kid in the back, but they have a doctor, hopefully, who knows what he's doing, and then they give you the prescription number, and that's what you can shop with the prescription number. Because how many times did I want to buy a frame, but I didn't know if my prescription had changed? So I had to go and make an appointment with my optometrist, and then he had to, you know, get me in. He had to write a little prescription. Like, this is all stuff from the past, you guys. I mean, check it out. It's Warby Parker. I was very impressed with that. All right, so the next one is the Home Depot. You may have heard of this. It's called the Color Project Color app. So what you do is you take a picture of the the room that you want to paint, and what it does is it has an app that allows you to hold it up to the room to see, like, you see, okay, so make that wall black or make that wall red, and you're able to see in that color what it would look like. And you could take different pictures of different rooms, you could try different shades. It's amazing. Like, that is so great. So you don't have to, you don't have to do the guesswork. You don't have to paint strips like they used to do in the old days, or you don't have to go and come back and take like 10 different color strips. Those days, those color chits are in the past. All right, and last but not least is L'Oreal. And I always laugh when I look at my, when I'm getting ready for the camera and I look at my hair, which hasn't been cut like for a year now. But because I think the number one reason why people are self-conscious on camera is because of their hair, right? I don't know if you remember that. Okay, I'm taking a sip from my non-tea. I'm really crazy about the strawberry flavor. But this will probably make you burp if you're like doing a video, so I'll try to contain myself. All right, so the L'Oreal has kind of the same thing as the Home Depot Project Color, which is, they call it the Style My Hair app. And notice it's all about apps, you guys. Like, everything's about the phone and everything's about the apps. And if you don't have an app and you're not savvy enough to be able to, download it and use it on your phone, you're missing out on a whole world. And if you're my age group, again, the research says that you're not as comfortable. I get it. I know. I was born when there was no computers either, but get with the program. So your hair, which is so important because, you don't want to get on Zoom calls because your hair doesn't look good. Well, the Style My Hair app is a face scan. So they do a scan of your face, and then they have multiple options of hair colors that you can try with different hairstyles. So, it can be flipped, it could be short, it could be layered, it could be long, whatever it is. So that's what it gives you, the options. And then, of course, obviously they do some sort of color matching, and then you go and you can buy that. Maybe you can order it online. I don't know, but it's a good, in the hairdresser, they would bring out this big color book, and they would like try to put a little swatch of hair that was colored in that color, and they would try to like put it next to your face, so to see if it matches your skin, to see if it's good. But this is so much better, right? All right, so should you have a virtual pivot? Should you, doing what you do, whether it's brick and mortar, whether it's anything else, should you have a virtual business? And some of the things that, you should look at, obviously, is there any part of your process that you can make Zoomable, meaning like through video? So, one of the ones that I skipped was H&R Block. So you used to be able to take all your shoebox full of your receipts, and you would give it to this guy at the mall, which is what I used to do when I was young. And then they would crunch all the numbers and say, come back in an hour, and then they would do your tax return for you. Now, if you can't afford at home to because the malls are closed and their brick and mortars are closed, and if you can't afford to hire an accountant, what they've launched is an online assist app that you can have a live chat and say, you know, do I get a credit for this? So you can ask them like questions, and they even get on like Zoom and do sharing your screen where you can ask them questions by showing them where you're stuck on your return. So I'm not entirely sure if this is a free service, but it sounds amazing. Like, I hate accounting. It's one of the subjects that I failed in university, just so you know. And I was a pretty, studious person. So yeah, I hated accounting. That's why I love my accountant. But I would never dream of doing it myself. So if you're gonna do it yourself, you may want to check out their app. So should you do the virtual yourself? Well, is there any part of it that you can make accessible through a Zoom or through camera, or like, you know, viral virtual? And then the other part is, should you be using it to connect and stay connected, whether it's through pumping out content about the problem that you solve for the clients, or it's just personal, like just giving them, I mean, somebody I know, a business that I know, is just reaching out to people to do interviews with them about hope. And, she's a jewelry designer. So it has nothing to do with the business. So now, because she's had such an overwhelming attention and success with this outreach that she only did because of COVID, that she's like, her business is moving and she's trying to think of, well, how am I going to monetize this? So my advice to you is think about how to monetize it before you launch something, so that you can embed some key calls to action, some key strategic actions before you even engage in any activities, because everything takes time and effort, and you want to make sure that you're getting some form of return, especially if you've been affected by the COVID. So that's all I have for tea time. And for those of you who just joined now, I apologize that I'm not having tea. It's just simply too hot today to have tea, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I have to change the title of my lives instead of tea. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, I don't drink anything else other than I don't drink alcohol. It's been years. Yeah, so it's either going to be tea or I guess Perrier. And there's no product placement here, folks. Perrier is not paying me, I promise. And just like always, I would appreciate any of your comments. I appreciate any of you watching. And soon I'm brewing a really, really huge online launch. I'm really excited about. I can't tell you anything about it yet. Not that you're dying to find out, but I'm going to be inviting you into a private Facebook group soon about that launch, and it's going to be huge. I've never done anything like this. Yeah, I'm in learning mode. I'm like consuming 10 hours of information, new information every day. And so like I'm in super learning mode. I can't even, like, I'm so wired, I can't even sleep. I get up at 5 and I'm like put on the earphones and start listening to more lessons. So it's really, really exciting, and I can't wait to tell you about it. And so we'll catch you next week, everyone. All the best.